Foreign Minister Penny Wong on a trip to Israel is trying to pretend the Albanese government's even-handed in this war between democratic Israel and the Islamist Hamas terrorists. But again, just now, Wong refused, right, to visit the sites of the massacres of the Jews by Hamas that started this war. No time, she said. But did visit sites where Palestinians told that Jewish settlers were violent to them. Go figure that. Join me from Hostage Square in Tel Aviv is Michael Kroger, regular Bolt Report commentator and former president of the Victorian Liberals. Michael, where are you now? What are we looking at here?
So I am in Hostage Square in central Tel Aviv. This is a mock tunnel set up by the families of the Jewish hostages and ex-hostages based on the testimony of those that have been released as to what they look like. Concrete and metal, hundreds of miles of these tunnels that they've discovered. And people can visit and just see what the conditions are like. And I'm just going to turn the camera around, Andrew, if we can, just to show you the rest of Hostage Square, where the families have set up tables, the chairs, and there's very large numbers of people coming here during the day to express their sympathy with the families of the hostages, Andrew.
Well, not much sympathy for Jews at the moment, I'm afraid, Michael. There are in some parts of the country, I'm afraid. We've got to remember, of course, tunnels like that, there's 500 kilometres of them under Gaza, built by the terrorists to hide from bombs and all that kind of stuff, built with the help, in part, of aid money. And Penny Wong's just given $21 million extra of aid to Palestinian efforts, including UNRWA, the United agency that works over there. What do you make of that?
So, Andrew, Penny Wong's made a complete fool of herself. I mean, what they've worked out here is if you work out how much concrete's needed for those tunnels and how much metal's needed for 500 kilometres of tunnels, it's about 15 billion Australian dollars. 15 billion Australian dollars. Hamas have been in power just over 15 years. The Palestinian leadership in Gaza have stolen 1 billion Australian dollars a year from the international community and the UN. Never been accounted for. No one's ever said, where are you getting all this money from? They've stolen 1 billion Australian dollars a year, including, of course, from Australian taxpayers. So if Penny Wong thinks she's got any kind of, she said to the Palestinian leader in Ramallah the other day, "Oh, please make sure that our money, is not stolen." And he said, "Oh no, it won't be stolen." Oh, please, Andrew, this money will go straight to Hamas. Like the other $1 billion a year they've stolen from these dunces in the international community who think this aid is going to the UN, to the Palestinian people, to the children, to the hospitals, to the schools, to the needy. No, Andrew, 15 billion has been stolen by the Palestinian leadership and used to build these tunnels behind me. So if Penny thinks she's doing any good here, she has made a fool of herself. And people here in Israel today are just nodding their heads when you talk about the Australian contribution.